Hello, my name is CRMitchell. I'm a student at the University of Montevallo in Montevallo, Alabama, at the Stevens College of Business. My mentor is Professor Alexander Mechatov. As a car enthusiast, this project began as a labor of love. Since childhood, I have loved cars, all shapes and sizes, big cars, small cars, fast cars, loud cars. And then along came the Tesla, and oh my! Did you know that a Tesla can go from 0 to 60 in 2.1 seconds? That means this silent electric newcomer can take on a Bugatti Chiron on the drag strip and win almost every time. And the Bugatti comes with a $4 million price tag. So when the opportunity arose for me to do a research paper on electric vehicles, I jumped at the chance because it piqued my interest. I titled my paper Electric Vehicles, Electric Dreams, and began my studies. Shortly thereafter, I learned about the environmental and sociological damage their components can cause, as well as the lack of infrastructure and charging capabilities, and I renamed my paper Electric Vehicles, Electric Nightmares. And I continued to my research as to why we simply aren't ready for the electric vehicle takeover yet. A quick rundown of how electrical vehicles work. EVs consist of 5 primary components: the charging port, traction battery pack, inverter, electric traction motor, and electric powertrain. Of course, we are all familiar with the charging port where you plug it in to get the power. Also, we will primarily be focused on the traction battery pack, which is located usually in the bottom of the vehicle, forming the center of gravity. These are primarily composed of lithium and weigh about 1,000 pounds. The batteries store the energy needed to feed the powertrain, which is the vehicle's engine, transmission, and drivetrain. Did you know that vehicle manufacturers have long been making attempts at electric cars? Over 100 years, in fact. But large volume attempts have failed until recent years. So EVs are now here to stay, and manufacturers are working hard to keep up with the demand from consumers around the world. The global vehicle market in 2021 was about $170 billion. The global share of EVs has increased exponentially at a rate of 50% per year. The annual growth rate forecast between 2022 and 2030 is 23.1%. You can see that the number of makes and models of electric vehicles currently in production is impressive. Automakers and consumers prefer the SUVs, but as you can see, there is still a wide variety available. There are over 500 models to choose from worldwide. My personal favorites are the DeLorean Alpha 5, as well as the Tesla Cybertruck and the Nissan Electric Z-Car. Momentum is increasing around the world for the adoption of electric vehicles. Many countries and states have set goals to implement ICE, or internal combustion engine bans, some within the next few years, to reach zero emissions from motor vehicles. These plans are very ambitious, considering that in 2020 EV sales only accounted for 4% of new vehicle sales worldwide. But if the current trend continues, electric vehicles will account for 50% of all light-duty vehicle sales worldwide by 2026. That's only 3 years away. One of the biggest hurdles to overcome before the world is ready to make the switch to exclusively electric vehicles is the charging infrastructure and charging capabilities. Take a look at this map from the Department of Energy's website. There are no public charging stations listed on this 636 plus mile journey between Birmingham, Alabama and Dallas, Texas. This means that a driver or traveler would possibly have to go out of their way to a Walmart or a Whole Foods, and charging stations might not even be available. This could delay them by hours or even a day. This is just one example demonstrating the impracticality of electric vehicles. The wide-scale use it's just not that time yet. Until the infrastructure is more reliable and much larger, it just isn't feasible for most people to own an EV because of the stress and the inconvenience it will cause. Do we have enough lithium on the planet to fuel the demand for the future? According to the International Energy Agency, the world could be facing lithium shortages as soon as 2025 because of the high global demand. Campaign groups Transport and Environmental Studies show that there is only enough lithium currently mined to produce 14 million EVs in 2023. That's this year. That means there will be many buyers that are left empty-handed. But even with the shortages, demand continues to grow. In 2022, light-duty sales doubled in production, and if that trend continues, they would hit 26 million units by 2030. With the extremely high demand for lithium comes dramatic increases in prices. Back in 2021, the price of lithium increased by 438% in that year alone. And between January and July of last year, the price of lithium continued to grow when it skyrocketed more than 600% from $10,000 to $62,000 per metric ton. Some lithium mining companies have been accused of contaminating water supply, damaging the landscape, and wasting precious water resources. The lithium deposits are generally found in drought-prone areas in South America, Australia, and China. Need an example of just how much water is required? Approximately 500,000 gallons of water are required for every ton of lithium mined. To extract this resource, a hole is drilled in the lithium salt flats, and then water is pumped in. The mineral-rich brine is then pumped to the surface and over a period of months evaporates, leaving the lithium behind. This both damages the environment and wastes much-needed water in these regions. The problem is so bad in Chile's Salar de Atacama region, where 65% of the region's water supply is used for this purpose. Farmers and other people in the communities must find water elsewhere. This issue is likely to become more urgent because of the ecological problems that are created. Because lithium is so important, the lithium recycling should be important as well. And the current recycling technology for lithium batteries is very expensive and relies on harsh chemicals and high temperatures to break down lithium ion components. This creates a challenge for recycling facilities because they must have tailor-made operations in order to efficiently recover and process recycled materials. Very few facilities exist worldwide for lithium recycling. As of March 2022, only 5% of used lithium-ion batteries are recycled in the United States. This leaves a staggering amount of unrecycled material, as each battery contains 25 pounds of lithium. Studies show that recycling has the potential to reduce the cumulative demand for lithium needed to electrify the transportation sector by up to 30% between 2020 and 2050. In conclusion, the electric vehicle industry has not properly planned for the future of electric vehicles in order to make the swap from internal combustion engines a reality. Although a viable option for the future, changes must be made. The infrastructure and charging system must be improved and grow. A better recycling system, as well as an alternative to lithium, is also necessary, for our planet cannot support the demand with solely lithium as the preferred alternative fuel. Although there are many hurdles to overcome, electric vehicles are still in our future, and one day soon, electric vehicles will be electric dreams instead of electric nightmares. Thank you.